Welcome to Zoe Stories. I slipped on the dress to pay the bills. The apartment smelled faintly of stale coffee and cheap detergent, a reminder of how long I had been scraping by. My name is Ethan, 20 years old, living paycheck to paycheck and completely invisible in the world that seemed to run without me. I sat at my cluttered desk, bills stacked like miniature skyscrapers in front of me. Electricity, water, rent, phone. Every letter screamed for attention I didn't have. I rubbed my temples and let out a long, defeated sigh. Nothing worked. Nothing ever did. That's when my phone buzzed. A message from someone I barely knew. Want a quick way to cover your bills? I laughed nervously. Scams. Always scams. But the message continued. Pay is good. Just come over and try something. You'll see. I hesitated, staring at the words. My stomach twisted. Desperation is a dangerous thing. It clouds judgment. Bills were due tomorrow, and I had nothing. Nothing except this strange, almost compelling invitation. The doorbell rang before I could second-guess myself. I opened it to find a woman, sharp and commanding in a fitted blouse and pencil skirt. Her eyes flicked over me, assessing, almost calculating. Ethan, she asked, voice smooth, deliberate. I'm Veronica. Come in. Her apartment was polished, expensive, intimidating. She gestured toward the couch, and I sat, shrinking into myself. Veronica didn't waste words. You're in a tight spot, she said. I can help you, but you need to follow instructions.
Exactly.
No questions. I nodded, unsure why I felt both scared and intrigued. She leaned in, a subtle smile playing on her lips. It's simple. You help me with some personal errands, and I pay you enough to clear every debt you have. I swallowed hard. This could be the break I needed, or a trap I'd regret. Veronica slid a package across the coffee table. A neatly folded dress, delicate, feminine, almost seductive. My heart nearly stopped. You'll wear this, she said casually, and you'll present yourself exactly as I instruct. Hair, makeup, everything. It's important for my clients. Very high profile. I stared at the dress. Panic rose in my chest. Wait, I'm not. Sure, she interrupted, voice soft but commanding. You need this.
And you know it.
You've struggled. You've begged for a way out. This is it. Her gaze pierced me, relentless. Somehow, despite my reservations, I felt a shiver of compliance. The stakes were high, the bills unpaid, and her confidence intoxicating. I exhaled shakily.
Okay.
I'll do it. Veronica's smile widened, sharp and knowing.
Good.
That's all I needed to hear. Tomorrow, you start your first session. Come ready. And remember, once you slip on the dress, there's no going back. Not immediately. Are you sure you're ready? I hesitated, the weight of my decision pressing down. But my reflection in the mirror across the room, tired, hollow, desperate, made the choice almost too easy. Yes, I whispered. That night, I lay in my tiny apartment, staring at the ceiling. My fingers brushed the fabric Veronica had left me, a dress I would never have dreamed of wearing. The thought twisted in my mind. Am I about to humiliate myself completely, or finally escape this life of nothing? Sleep didn't come. Only images of the dress, Veronica's sharp eyes, and the stack of bills that could finally disappear haunted me. Tomorrow, I would slip on the dress. And tomorrow, nothing would ever be the same. The morning sunlight sliced through the blinds, falling in long stripes across my bed. My hands shook as I reached for the delicate dress Veronica had left on the chair the night before. The fabric was soft, silky, and impossible, not just in texture, but in what it represented. I stared at it for a long moment, my reflection in the cracked mirror showing the pale, gaunt face of a boy on the edge of breaking. Am I really doing this? I asked myself. Am I really going to wear a dress for money? But desperation, relentless and unforgiving, left no room for doubt. My eyes flicked to the pile of overdue bills on my desk. Rent, electricity,
Phone.
all demanding attention I could no longer avoid. With a deep breath, I reached out. The moment I slipped the dress over my head, the silk brushing against my bare skin, my stomach twisted. It clung in ways my body had never known, outlining curves I didn't remember having. My reflection shifted. The familiar boy I saw in mirrors at school, in the shower in my apartment, was gone. I stumbled slightly, my knees weak, my hands, trembling, smoothed the fabric down over my hips. I caught sight of myself in the full-length mirror. The image was almost unrecognizable: soft shoulders, delicate neckline, subtle curve at the waist. My heart pounded with a strange mixture of fear and something else. Veronica appeared behind me, like she had always been there, silent, watching. "You're doing well," she said, voice smooth, almost hypnotic. "But there's more to this than clothes. You have to be her. Walk like her. Speak like her. Think like her." I swallowed hard. I don't know if I can." She stepped closer, her hand brushing mine as she adjusted the dress at my shoulder. "You will. Because you need this more than you know. Every step you resist, every moment you doubt yourself, it costs you." Her words burned into me, sharp as a blade. I realized she wasn't just instructing me. She was controlling me, guiding me, forcing me to become someone else. And even though I hated it, even though my mind screamed at me to resist, a part of me shivered with something dangerously close to anticipation. Veronica handed me a compact mirror and a small tube of lip gloss. "Look at yourself. Really look." I held it up, staring into my own eyes. My lips trembled as I applied the gloss, the faint smell of sweetness filling my senses. My reflection smiled back. Or maybe it wasn't me smiling. Maybe it was her. I wanted to step back, to deny it. But I couldn't. I liked the way my lips glistened. I liked the way my eyelashes felt heavy and long. A tiny thrill shot through me, terrifying and addictive. "Good," Veronica whispered. "You're learning. Soon, you won't remember why you ever hated this." The words should have horrified me. But instead, I felt a pulse of something I didn't want to name. By afternoon, Veronica had me walking around her apartment in heels she had provided. My steps were wobbly, uncoordinated, and every movement felt alien. "Bend your knees slightly," she instructed. "Shorter steps. Don't stiffen. Pretend the world is watching, and it is." I stumbled at first, nearly falling. My face burned with embarrassment. I look ridiculous, I thought. Everyone would laugh if they saw me. But Veronica's eyes never wavered from mine. "Yes," she said when I finally found a rhythm.
There.
"That's better. You're learning fast. Soon, you'll be flawless." Every correction, every small praise, every push forward sent a thrill through me I hated and secretly craved. I was losing pieces of myself, bit by bit. That evening, Veronica pulled a pair of sheer stockings from a drawer. "Tomorrow we go out," she said. "You'll see the world. And the world will see you." I froze. My reflection in the mirror stared back, pale and trembling, a mixture of fear and forbidden curiosity in my eyes. I had no idea what she meant by the world. And I had no idea if I was ready. But the dress, the heels, the way she had me standing, poised, almost beautiful, made my pulse race. Tomorrow, I would step outside, as someone else. And there would be no turning back. The morning air was sharp, carrying the faint smell of wet pavement and car exhaust. I clutched the purse Veronica had handed me, a lifeline disguised as a fashion accessory. My legs trembled inside the sheer stockings she had insisted I wear, and the black heels dug into my feet in a way that made every step a small battle. "Remember," Veronica said, adjusting my skirt one last time, "you're not Ethan today. You're her. Walk like her. Speak like her. Feel her." I nodded, my throat dry, but my mind screamed, "I can't do this. People will see me. They'll laugh. They'll know it's me." Her smile, sharp and confident, sliced through my panic. "Then let them. You'll survive. You'll thrive." We stepped out into the street, and every passerby seemed magnified under the scrutiny of my own insecurities. Every glance, every sideways look made my stomach twist. I felt exposed, fragile, a puppet in heels and stockings. Posture. Veronica instructed softly, yet with authority. Chin up, shoulders back. Smile slightly. You're beautiful. Believe it. I tried. My steps were awkward, unsure, my body betraying me with every wobble. A man walking past us gave a barely audible chuckle, and heat burned my cheeks.
He knows, I thought. He can see it's fake.
But as Veronica's hand brushed mine to steady me, something strange happened. Her touch was grounding, encouraging, and a tiny, terrifying spark of thrill ran through me. Inside the convenience store, fluorescent lights flickered over aisles of candy and soft drinks. I followed Veronica closely, trying to mimic her confident sway, my hands gripping the purse like a lifeline. A cashier glanced up, eyebrows raising. "New haircut?" she asked casually. I froze. My voice caught in my throat. "Yes," Veronica supplied smoothly. She wanted a fresh look for work. My chest tightened. The lie slipped past my lips unchallenged, and the cashier nodded with a polite smile. I realized with a jolt, they see me as her. Not Ethan. Not the boy. Her. The sensation was intoxicating. Terrifying. Confusing. I wanted to run, but part of me wanted to bask in it, to feel what it was like to be noticed, admired. Outside the store, Veronica guided me to walk across the busy street. Cars honked. People stared. Every step in heels felt like a trial by fire. "You're doing beautifully," she whispered. "Look at them. They can't take their eyes off you. They see a woman, not a boy pretending." Her words wrapped around me like chains, binding and liberating at once. I felt my resistance fray, piece by piece, with every approving glance from strangers. And yet, a part of me, the old, frightened Ethan, clawed to get free. "This isn't me. This can't be me." Veronica sensed it. Her hand slid into mine. "Every part of you is hers now. Accept it, or the world will force you to." A young man at a cafe stopped mid-step, staring at me. He smiled, a slow, lingering smile that sent my heart racing. "You're really pretty," he said. I froze, heat spreading across my chest and face. My mind spun. He thinks I'm a girl. He likes me. He's talking to me like I'm a woman. And somehow, part of me liked it. The thrill and the shame collided, twisting into a knot in my stomach. Veronica noticed, her eyes sharp but pleased.
"See?
You're powerful, even in their disbelief. Even in their whispers. You're becoming her." As we returned to the apartment, my legs ached, my chest raced, and my reflection in every passing window reminded me of the duality of my life. "Who am I?" I whispered to the empty street.
Ethan?
Or her. And just as I rounded the corner of our block, I caught a figure staring at me from across the street. A familiar face from my past, someone who would recognize Ethan immediately. My heart froze. Veronica's grip tightened on my hand. "Don't worry," she said, a sly smile playing on her lips. "Let them see her first." The street seemed to stretch endlessly, the sounds of the city blurred by the pounding of my heart. Every step I took in heels made my legs ache, my chest flutter with both fear and something I didn't dare name. I couldn't take my eyes off the figure across the street. It was him, my old classmate, Ryan. Someone who had known me for years. His mouth hung open, eyes wide, as he took a hesitant step forward.
No.
"No, this can't be happening," I thought frantically. My reflection in the shop windows showed her, me but not me. A girl, delicate, polished, smiling faintly as Veronica's hand rested on my back. "Ethan?" Ryan's voice cracked. His tone wasn't mean, it was disbelief, confusion, horror, and maybe curiosity all rolled together. Panic flooded me. I froze mid-step. Every nerve screamed for me to run, to rip off the dress, to vanish into the shadows. Veronica's hand squeezed mine. Her voice, soft but commanding, cut through my panic. "Remember who you are now. Not Ethan. Her. Respond as her." I swallowed hard, my lips trembling. Hi," I whispered, the word coming out softer, higher, unfamiliar. My own voice sounded like a stranger's. Ryan's brow furrowed. Wait, you're wearing? Oh my God. You're really doing this? Veronica stepped forward, standing slightly in front of me. Yes, she said firmly, eyes locked on Ryan. She's working. She's earning. And she's going to keep doing it, whether you like it or not. Ryan's face paled. He seemed paralyzed, unsure if he should laugh, scold, or walk away. My stomach twisted with a mixture of embarrassment and something else. Pride? Power? You look different, he stammered. I felt my chest tighten. Veronica's gaze softened slightly, almost indulgent. Say it properly, she instructed, leaning closer. Tell him your name, the one you go by now. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of my new identity settle over me like a cloak. Call me
Al.
Ryan's face turned pale, eyes wide, mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. My legs trembled, the heels pressing painfully into my feet. Every instinct screamed to flee, to rip the dress off, to return to Ethan, the boy no one had noticed, the boy who had been invisible for years. And yet, part of me shivered, secretly thrilled. I liked his shock. I liked the power it gave me, the control, the tension between what I had been and what I had become. Veronica's hand rested lightly on my shoulder. This is part of it, she murmured. The old world is crumbling. The new one is yours if you accept it. Ryan finally took a hesitant step back, struggling to find words. I don't know what to say. I smiled faintly, almost nervously. It's okay. You'll get used to it. As Ryan turned and walked away, I realized something terrifying and thrilling. No one could undo this. Not him, not the city, not even myself. And yet, deep in my chest, a storm raged. Am I really ready to embrace this? Or am I on the edge of losing myself forever? Veronica squeezed my hand, her eyes gleaming with satisfaction. Tomorrow, she whispered, we go bigger.
Public.
Everyone will see Elle, and you will either thrive or break. The next morning, Veronica's instructions were clear. We were going to the city mall. Not just a casual outing, this was a full public test. The heels, the dress, the makeup, the confidence, they would all be on display. I stared at the outfit laid out for me. A short, form-fitting dress in deep burgundy, sheer stockings, pointed heels, and a clutch bag. Every piece screamed visibility. Every detail screamed attention. My stomach twisted into knots. I can't do this. I can't. But the stack of bills on my desk at home and the memory of Ryan's shocked face left no escape. I had already begun the journey I couldn't turn back from. Veronica led me through the revolving doors, past the security guard whose gaze lingered longer than polite. I felt heat flood my cheeks, the first real taste of public scrutiny. People's eyes followed us as we walked past, some curious, some admiring, others smirking. Head up, Veronica instructed. Shoulders back. Smile. You're beautiful, Elle. Own it. I forced my chin up, trying to mimic her poise. My steps were cautious at first, wobbly, every heel click echoing through the shiny mall floor. But Veronica's hand on my lower back anchored me, steadying the trembling core of fear and excitement inside me. We passed a cafe where a group of young men noticed me. Their eyes lingered a moment too long, one of them whispering, and the words carried across the space. Wow, she's hot. I froze. My body reacted before my mind could catch up. A shiver ran down my spine, part terror, part excitement. Heat burned my chest. They're looking at me like I'm a woman, not Ethan. Veronica leaned close, her breath brushing my ear. Let them stare. That's their problem. You're in control. You are her. Her words wrapped around me like velvet chains. I wanted to resist, to sink back into the boy I had been, invisible and safe. But a part of me, the part Elle was carving out, thrived in the attention. We stopped at a small food court. Veronica instructed me to order lunch. My voice, high and soft, barely carried over the hum of conversation. The cashier blinked, clearly confused by the unusual combination of timid delivery and striking appearance. Your outfit, wow. That's amazing, she said awkwardly. My knees nearly buckled. Did she really mean it? Was it a joke? And then Veronica smiled, just behind me, her eyes glinting with subtle cruelty. Yes, she whispered. Enjoy the power, the thrill, the humiliation. It's all part of the process. I sat down, clutching my bag, my hands shaking. Every laugh, every stare, every whispered compliment felt like both punishment and seduction. I hated it, and yet, I wanted it. As we walked through the mall, a friend of mine from high school appeared. Her eyes widened in disbelief. Ethan, she gasped. I froze. Heat burned my cheeks, my chest tightened. Every instinct screamed for me to bolt, to rip off the dress and run home. Veronica's grip on my arm was firm. You are ill now, she reminded me.
Say it.
Own it. I took a shaky breath and forced the words out. I'm
L.
Her jaw dropped, and the whispers began. There it is, Veronica murmured. The world recognizes her. And she stands tall. We found a quiet corner near a fountain. I sank onto a bench, my makeup slightly smudged from nerves, my legs aching from the heels. I wanted to cry, to scream, to tell Veronica I couldn't do it. But then a man sitting nearby smiled at me warmly, not flirtatious, not judging, just genuine appreciation. You're really pretty, he said. Something inside me twisted. Embarrassment, shame, and a spark of forbidden pleasure all at once. Tears blurred my vision. Veronica crouched beside me. See? That's power. That's acceptance. That's the first taste of who you can become. And for the first time, I couldn't argue. We left the mall with my steps unsteady, but more confident than before. My reflection in the shop windows along the way was different. I wasn't just Ethan wearing a dress. I was Elle. And just as we reached the curb, a man stopped, staring at me intently, recognition flickering in his eyes. Veronica's hand tightened on mine. Tomorrow, she said, her smile both sweet and cruel. We take it further.
Public.
Larger audience. And you will either thrive or break completely. I swallowed hard, my heart hammering. I knew, deep down, there was no turning back. The apartment was quiet when I returned from the mall, exhaustion weighing on every muscle. My legs ached, my feet burned, and yet my mind refused to rest. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the reflection in the full-length mirror. Elle stared back. Delicate, poised, the curve of the hips and soft lines of the body completely foreign, and yet a part of me felt comfortable. Veronica stood behind me, observing, smiling faintly. How does it feel? She asked. I hesitated. Scary and weird. And kind of nice.
She nodded knowingly. Exactly.
That's the tension. That's what makes the transformation real. You're letting go. You're becoming her. Veronica began laying out the rules for the next phase. I was to stop wearing my old clothes entirely. Shirts, jeans, sneakers, they were gone from my life. Only dresses, skirts, stockings, and heels. I felt panic rise. But these are clothes for women. What if someone sees me? Veronica's eyes were sharp. Then let them. You're not Ethan anymore. You're Elle. Every article of clothing, every step, every gesture reinforces it. You want to survive this, pay your bills, and thrive. You follow the rules. She handed me a silk blouse and pencil skirt. Tomorrow we practice talking, walking, sitting, every small detail. I looked at the clothing in disbelief. I'm really doing this. I'm letting her take control of me. Veronica spent hours coaching me on voice. Pitch higher. Softer consonants.
Smile while you speak.
Confidence in tone. I tried. My throat tightened. My words squeaked. My old voice, deep and familiar, fought to resurface. Every correction stung, but every success, no matter how small, brought a shiver of pride. You're learning fast, Veronica said, tracing her finger lightly down my shoulder. Soon, no one will hear Ethan. Only Elle. And slowly, painfully, I began to believe it. Next came posture and movement. Each step in heels was a lesson in balance, grace, and vulnerability. My knees wobbled, my core screamed, and yet every stumble was met with Veronica's subtle guidance. "Relax your shoulders," she said. "Think feminine, not fragile. Soft but powerful." Hours of repetition left me exhausted, yet a strange thrill lingered. I noticed strangers in the street now. Some stared, some smiled. Their recognition was terrifying and intoxicating. I'm becoming her, I thought. And it feels addictive. Veronica's control wasn't just about clothes or movement. Slowly, subtle rules stripped me of my male habits. No slouching. No loud speech. No rough gestures. Everything from how I laughed to how I held my cup of coffee was under her guidance. "You're soft now," she said one evening, brushing a strand of hair behind my ear. "Softness isn't weakness. It's power. Use it."
The words sank into me.
I hated them. I loved them. I couldn't deny the changes taking root in my mind and body. Each day, humiliation, arousal, doubt, and pride tangled in my chest. Compliments made me flush. Criticism made me shiver. Veronica alternated sweetness with sharp corrections, keeping me on edge. "You enjoy this, don't you?" she whispered one night, fingers brushing my waist. I froze. "I do. I shouldn't. I hate that I do." Tears pricked my eyes as shame and desire collided. Every part of me felt controlled, yet alive in a way I never had before. One morning, Veronica announced, "Today we go to the salon. Hair, makeup, nails. Public this time. And there's someone there who will test you. Are you ready?"
My heart sank.
Public exposure. Total transformation. And a test I couldn't refuse. As I slipped on my dress and heels, staring at the reflection of Elle in the mirror, I realized there was no going back. Every piece of Ethan had been left behind. Tomorrow, the world would see her. And I didn't know if I would survive, or if I even wanted to. The morning sun hit the city with a sharp clarity, reflecting off the glass facades and shining on my reflection as I left Veronica's apartment. I clutched my purse tightly, feeling the delicate chain bite into my fingers. Every step in the heels she had insisted on was agony and grace combined. My knees trembled, my chest fluttered with anticipation, shame, and something I didn't dare name. Veronica walked beside me, poised, confident, her presence a constant tether between fear and thrill. "Remember, Elle," she said softly, "the world is watching. And so am I. You're not Ethan anymore. Every move, every glance, every step shows who you are now." I swallowed, nodding. My reflection in the glass doors of the salon stared back, soft lines, delicate curves, mascara-heavy eyes that were not my own, yet somehow they felt familiar. The moment we stepped inside, the air was thick with hairspray, perfume, and the quiet buzz of conversation. Mirrors lined the walls, reflecting every movement, every awkward wobble in my heels. I felt exposed, vulnerable, naked in ways beyond clothing. Veronica guided me to a chair near the center, the stylists eyeing me as if they already knew my story. She smiled sweetly at me. "Relax. Let them see Elle. Let them shape her." I nodded, heart pounding. The woman at my chair gestured toward my reflection. "Who do we have today?" I flinched. Do I answer? Should I say Ethan? Elle? Veronica's hand lightly pressed mine. Elle, she instructed. Say it proudly. I cleared my throat. Elle, I whispered, voice higher than I had ever imagined, trembling. The stylists exchanged glances. Approval, curiosity, a little judgment, and somewhere inside me, a spark of power ignited. Hours passed as stylists brushed, colored, and shaped. Each touch sent shivers down my spine, some terrifying, some intoxicating. Veronica guided every movement, correcting posture, tilting my chin, softening my smile. You have to let go, she murmured. Every hesitation is a tether to Ethan.
Cut it.
Embrace Elle completely. I felt my identity splintering with each brush stroke, every layer of makeup, every curl pinned into place. A wave of panic washed over me, and then relief. For the first time, I saw a reflection of someone confident, radiant, visible. Someone people could admire or fear, but someone not invisible. The salon doors opened, letting in a stream of casual customers and passers-by. Every eye seemed to land on me, on Elle, and heat burned my cheeks. Veronica guided me to a mirror facing the waiting area. "You're on display," she whispered. "Watch how they react. Feel their eyes. This is power. This is your life now." A woman in the corner whispered to her friend, "She's gorgeous." A man glanced briefly, eyes wide, and then looked away, startled. I felt my stomach twist with embarrassment, yet a thrill surged through me. They see me. They see Elle. And I exist in their gaze. A familiar voice broke my fragile composure. "Ethan?" My heart stopped. I turned slightly, and there he was, Mark, a college friend who had known me for years. Recognition flashed in his eyes. I froze. Panic, shame, and fear collided violently in my chest. "He'll know. He'll ruin me. Everyone will know." Veronica's hand pressed against my lower back. "Don't speak as Ethan," she said. "Only Elle. You can do this. Trust me." I opened my mouth, trembling. "I'm Elle," I whispered, my voice soft, delicate, trembling under the weight of public scrutiny. Mark's eyes widened, confusion and disbelief battling with his curiosity. You're Ethan," he stammered. I lowered my gaze, clutching my purse. Tears threatened. My body shook. Shame and exhilaration intertwined in a tangled mess. Veronica leaned close.
"Good. You survived."
"That's the first test. The world sees her. And she stands tall." Alone later in the salon corner, after Mark left, I let my tears fall. Not just for shame, but for the strange, addictive rush of visibility. My reflection in the mirror showed Elle, perfect, poised, feminine. But inside, Ethan screamed, invisible, trapped. Veronica crouched beside me, her voice soft, almost tender. "This is the tipping point. You are seeing both sides, Ethan and Elle. The one you embrace will survive. The one you cling to will wither. And every moment you hesitate, you lose more of the old you." Her words sank deep, chilling, intoxicating. I realized with a jolt that the transformation was not just physical. It was psychological, emotional. Every glance, every compliment, every stare pushed me further into Elle's world. As we left the salon, the city sun glaring off the pavement, Veronica's grip on my hand was firm, unyielding. "Tomorrow," she whispered, eyes gleaming with subtle cruelty and pride, "we take her out to the city center.
Crowds. Shops.
Cafes. Everyone will see Elle, and you will either thrive or break completely." My chest tightened. My legs shook. Every instinct screamed to run. And yet, deep down, a part of me, Elle, was already eager to step into the world, to be seen, to be admired. Tomorrow, there would be no safety net. Tomorrow, the public would decide. And Elle would either rise or shatter. The city was alive with noise, movement, and eyes everywhere. Cars honked, buses rumbled, street performers called for attention, and pedestrians moved in every direction. I clutched my small purse, feeling its weight grounding me as Veronica guided me toward the main shopping avenue. Every step in my heels was agony and ecstasy rolled together, every wobble a reminder of how unprepared I truly was. Veronica's hand rested lightly on my lower back. "You're Elle now," she said. "The world sees her. You either walk with pride or you crumble." My chest tightened. Pride and fear tangled violently inside me. I'm not ready. I can't. And yet, deep down, a small spark whispered, maybe I want to. Crowds pressed close, people brushing past me, their eyes lingering. Some stared, some whispered, some smiled. Every glance sent shivers through me, a mix of embarrassment, shame, and something dangerously close to exhilaration. A group of young men paused near a cafe, nudging each other and whispering. "She's stunning," one said. I froze, heat burning my cheeks. My heels teetered, my body trembling. Do they know? Do they see through me? Veronica leaned closer, her voice soft but commanding.
They only see what you allow them to.
Walk tall. Own it. Every stare is yours to command. I inhaled sharply, forcing my posture upright. Step by step, I began moving with a strange rhythm, wobbly at first, then confident, my hips swaying naturally. I caught sight of my reflection in a shop window. Elle looked powerful, vulnerable,
Alive.
Veronica guided me into boutiques, cafes, and crowded walkways. At every step, she corrected my posture, adjusted my skirts, reminded me of my voice, my gestures, my feminine poise. You're soft but strong, she murmured. Every glance, every word, every movement reinforces who you are now. Not Ethan.
Elle.
The repetition, the corrections, the constant observation, it was exhausting. My mind spun, torn between fear and an addictive thrill. And yet, I was learning. Slowly, painfully, I began to be her. Every compliment made me flush. Every whispered remark set my heart racing. Every stare from strangers felt like a test I could fail or pass spectacularly. At a cafe, a man approached, leaning slightly, smiling warmly. "You're really beautiful," he said. I froze. The words cut through me, shame, pride, fear, and excitement all tangled in my chest. Veronica's hand brushed mine. "Yes," she whispered. "That's power. That's control. That's who Elle can be. Enjoy it. Let it sink in." I wanted to deny it. I wanted to pull away, run back to Ethan's safe, invisible world. But a part of me, deep down, thrived in the attention, in the thrill of being seen, admired, noticed. As the day wore on, the duality of my identity grew heavier. Ethan's voice whispered from the shadows of my mind. "This isn't you. You're losing yourself." Elle sighed, however, stretched and reached, drinking in the power of skirts, heels, makeup, attention. No one sees the boy anymore. They see me. I exist. I am noticed. I am beautiful. The clash of identities made my chest ache, my stomach knot, and my knees wobble. Veronica noticed, her gaze sharp but approving.
"You're learning," she said.
"The old you clings. The new you rises. You're becoming her whether you fight it or not." As we turned into the crowded square, a group of students from my college paused, staring. Recognition flickered in their eyes. Whispers spread.
"Ethan? No."
"Elle?" My heart pounded, my legs trembled, my mind screamed. Veronica squeezed my hand, her smile both sweet and cruel. "Tomorrow," she whispered, "we go to the beauty pageant. Public, scrutinized, judged. Everyone will see her, and you will either shine or shatter." I swallowed hard. My reflection in the shop windows confirmed it. Elle was real now, and there was no turning back. The morning air was electric with excitement. Banners fluttered, music blared from speakers, and the chatter of an eager crowd echoed through the grand hall. Veronica's grip on my wrist was firm as we stepped through the entrance. I felt like I was walking into a storm. Every eye would be on me, every glance a judgment. I clutched the small clutch she had given me, feeling its weight as both comfort and chain. My heels clicked against the marble floor, each step echoing louder than the last. Every part of me screamed panic, but a small, forbidden thrill pulsed beneath it. "You're Elle?" Veronica whispered, her lips close to my ear. "And today, everyone will see her. You either shine or break." Backstage, mirrors lined the walls, reflecting dozens of contestants primping, preening, and practicing their smiles. I felt out of place, my body trembling in the tight sequined dress Veronica had insisted on. My stockings were sheer, my heels painfully high, and my makeup, though expertly done, felt like armor I couldn't remove. "Walk. Smile. Own it," Veronica instructed, adjusting a strand of my hair. "Every second counts. Every look, every posture, every smile is your power." I nodded, heart hammering. My hands shook as I practiced the wave, the smile, the subtle tilt of my head. Every movement felt exaggerated, every gesture unnatural, but Veronica's eyes burned into mine, correcting, guiding, commanding. I'm not Ethan anymore. I'm Elle, I reminded myself. The moment we stepped onto the stage, bright lights blinded me. Cameras flashed. The audience erupted in murmurs, some impressed, some skeptical. Every eye in the hall seemed to dissect me, judging, evaluating, whispering. A few familiar faces from school and college were in the crowd. Recognition flashed across their eyes, but Veronica's hand pressed lightly against my back, steadying me. "You're perfect," she whispered. "Own it. Every stare belongs to you." I took a deep breath, forcing a calm smile. Step by step, I walked the runway, hips swaying, posture perfect, voice soft but confident when speaking. My body trembled with exhaustion, fear, and a strange, thrilling pride. Compliments and cheers met me at every turn. The thrill of being admired clashed violently with my inner panic. They see Elle. They like Elle. They don't see Ethan at all. A young man in the front row smiled and whispered to his friend, "She's beautiful. Stunning." Heat rose in my cheeks. My chest fluttered. Shame and exhilaration intertwined, making my knees weak. Veronica's eyes gleamed with pride and cruelty.
Good.
That's power. That's control. That's who Elle can be. I wanted to deny it. I wanted to cling to Ethan. And yet a small, intoxicating part of me, Elle, thrived on it. Backstage after the round, I sank onto a chair, trying to steady my trembling hands. Veronica crouched beside me. "You feel it, don't you?" she murmured. The split. Ethan clinging, Elle rising. Every compliment, every stare, every step pushes you further. The choice is yours, but it's slipping from your fingers. Tears blurred my vision. Shame, fear, pride, and desire all collided. I was losing Ethan piece by piece, yet each loss brought power, attention, and a rush I couldn't deny.
Who am I really?
I whispered silently.
Ethan?
Or Elle. Veronica smiled, brushing a strand of hair from my face. "You'll find out soon." As the final round approached, the evening gown and public vote, I realized the audience's eyes were now trained only on me. Every step, every glance, every smile would determine my fate. And then from the back of the hall, I saw him. Ryan. Mark. Faces from my past that knew Ethan. Their recognition sent a jolt through my chest. Veronica's hand squeezed mine. "Tonight," she whispered, "the world will see Elle fully. And you will either shine or shatter completely." My reflection in the mirrored stage walls showed Elle, perfect, poised, feminine. But inside, Ethan screamed. And the final round was about to begin. The grand hall was packed to the brim. Lights blazed like the sun, illuminating the stage with a harsh brilliance. Cameras flashed, capturing every detail for the live broadcast. The audience murmured with anticipation, excitement rippling through the air. I stood backstage, clutching my clutch tightly, heels biting into my toes. My heart hammered violently in my chest. I could feel every eye in the room on me, even those who couldn't see me yet. Veronica leaned close, whispering with her signature mixture of sweetness and command. "This is it. The world sees Elle. Every step, every smile, every glance belongs to her now. Do you want to shine or crumble?" I swallowed hard, legs trembling. I don't know if I can do this, I thought. Ethan can't. Elle, maybe she can. The announcer's voice boomed. "Contestant number 7, Elle." I walked forward, each step echoing in my ears, heels clicking against the polished floor. The audience erupted in applause and murmurs, eyes following my every movement. I felt exposed, naked in ways far beyond clothing. The judge's gaze dissected me, evaluating my posture, smile, poise, and presence. I could hear whispers, some admiring, some surprised, some confused. Veronica's hand on my lower back was a lifeline. "Remember who you are," she whispered. "You're not Ethan. You're Elle. Every glance belongs to you." As I walked the runway, familiar faces in the crowd made my heart leap.
Ryan, Mark.
College friends, people from my past. Their recognition was a jolt, panic, and shame exploding inside me. I froze for a fraction of a second. They'll know. They'll ruin everything. Veronica squeezed my hand, her eyes burning with intensity. Say it. Feel it. Own it. Elle is real. I forced my chest out, chin up, and whispered softly, I'm Elle. The crowd cheered, but I could sense the tension of those who recognized me. Every step was a battle between shame and power, between Ethan's panic and Elle's rising confidence. As the final walk approached, my legs wobbled from exhaustion, heels slicing into my feet, heart pounding like a drum. Backstage, Veronica whispered again, This is the moment. You either break or you rise. Remember, she is stronger than he ever was. I stepped onto the stage for the final round. Cameras flashed, audience eyes burned, and every ounce of my old self screamed to flee. My reflection in the mirrored walls of the stage showed Elle, flawless, poised, radiant. And yet, Ethan's voice in my head screamed,
Run. This isn't you.
You're losing everything. Tears pricked my eyes. Shame, exhilaration, fear, and desire collided violently inside me. And then, I felt it.
Power.
Attention. Adoration. Elle is real. Elle is alive. Elle is strong. From the side of the stage, Veronica's eyes gleamed. Her hand lifted, directing my movements subtly, her voice carrying only for me. You are beautiful. They see you. You are their focus. You are hers. I swallowed, trembling, and walked with a grace I hadn't known I possessed. Each step, each glance, each soft smile shattered the old Ethan further, cementing Elle as real and undeniable. The applause, the camera flashes, the whispers, everything fueled a complex thrill.
Shame. Pride. Desire.
Humiliation.
Power.
As I reached the center of the stage, spotlight blinding me, Veronica whispered one final instruction. This is the moment, Elle.
Decide.
Will you embrace her fully? Every muscle in my body shook. My reflection stared back at me from the mirrored panels on stage. Elle. Perfect, poised, radiant. And then I realized, Ethan was gone. Not vanished, but buried beneath layers of makeup, skirts, and high heels. Elle had risen completely. The audience erupted in applause. Cameras flashed. Cheers roared. And yet, in the pit of my stomach, a quiet panic remained. Did I choose this? Or was it chosen for me? Veronica's smile was triumphant, almost cruel. Tomorrow, she whispered, the world will continue to see her, and you will either thrive or shatter completely. I stood frozen in the spotlight, body trembling, mind torn, identity fractured, and knew that my life would never be the same. The applause from the pageant still echoed in my ears as we exited the hall. The cool night air hit me, but it did little to calm the storm raging inside. My legs were wobbly from heels, my chest tight from adrenaline, and my mind scattered, fragmented between Ethan's panic and Elle's intoxicating thrill. Veronica's hand gripped mine firmly as we walked to the car. You did well, she said softly, her tone layered with pride and subtle cruelty. Better than I expected. I wanted to smile, to feel proud, but all I could manage was a trembling nod. My reflection in the car window caught my eye. Elle stared back, perfect, radiant, poised. But inside, Ethan screamed.
Who am I?
Back at Veronica's apartment, she insisted I change into something more comfortable, but still feminine. A soft silk nightgown replaced the sequined gown. I caught my reflection in the full-length mirror and froze. Every inch of me screamed vulnerability. You look stunning, Veronica murmured, tracing a finger along my jawline. And you feel it, don't you? The thrill, the power, the fear, all mixed together. That's the transformation. Tears blurred my vision. Shame, humiliation, and arousal collided in a tangled mess. I sank onto the bed, clutching the sheets. I don't know who I am anymore, I whispered. Veronica knelt beside me, her eyes piercing. That's the point. Ethan is fading. Elle is rising. Every day, every glance, every compliment pushes you further. You'll either accept it or break completely. I wanted to resist. I wanted to fight. And yet, a small, forbidden part of me, Elle, thrived in the attention, the power, the fear, and the humiliation. I buried my face in my hands, sobs racking my body. Every thought of my old life, my friends, my identity as Ethan, crashed into me. Veronica's voice was soft, almost a caress. Let it out. Every tear, every fear, every shame is part of becoming her. You can fight it, but why would you want to? Elle is beautiful. Elle is admired. Elle is alive. I shook my head violently. I don't know if I can be her. I don't know if I want to be. Her fingers traced my jaw, tilting my face gently. You already are her, whether you admit it or not. And deep down, you know it. That's why your heart races, why your body responds, why every compliment cuts and thrills you at the same time. I collapsed against her chest, sobbing uncontrollably. Shame, fear, and desire all mixed into one overwhelming flood. Hours passed, and the sobs subsided into quiet, shaky breaths. Alone in the mirror, I studied Elle's reflection. The soft curve of the lips, the high cheekbones, the delicate hands. And then Ethan's voice whispered from somewhere deep inside. You're losing yourself. This isn't you. You're giving her everything. I shook my head. I can't fight it anymore. I feel alive. Veronica's eyes caught mine in the reflection, gleaming with triumph. The final step, she whispered. Acceptance. You can run or you can embrace her completely. But you'll never be the same again. As I lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling, I realized the truth. The world had seen Elle. The pageant had proven it. Public exposure, recognition, and humiliation had stripped away Ethan piece by piece. And now, in the quiet aftermath, I faced the hardest question of all. Do I accept her, or try to reclaim him? Veronica's voice echoed softly in my mind, a whisper, a command, a temptation. Elle is real. You can be beautiful. You can be admired. You can be hers forever. The room was silent. My reflection stared back at me. And I knew one thing for certain. Nothing would ever be the same. The morning sunlight filtered softly through the curtains, painting the room in gentle hues. I sat on the edge of the bed, still trembling from the previous night's emotional collapse. Elle stared back at me from the mirror, flawless, radiant, poised, but inside, Ethan's voice whispered from the shadows, questioning, doubting, resisting. Veronica entered quietly, her heels clicking softly against the wooden floor. She carried a small envelope, her expression unreadable, eyes sharp and calculating. Good morning, she said, her tone sweet but edged with authority. I think it's time you understand why all this is happening. My heart skipped a beat.
Why?
Why am I here? Why is she doing this to me? She sat across from me, sliding the envelope onto the bed. Everything has a reason, Elle. Every lesson, every outfit, every glance, every humiliation. It wasn't just to transform you. It was for me. For what I wanted, what I needed. I froze. What do you mean? Veronica's smile was calm, almost serene, but her eyes held a sharp intensity. I wanted control. I wanted to see if I could shape someone completely. You were perfect for it. But it's not just control. It's admiration, desire, even revenge. Let me explain. She leaned closer, her voice soft, seductive, and chilling all at once. I trusted you, Ethan. I knew you would listen, obey, and eventually become her. And she, Elle, is exactly what I envisioned. Beautiful, malleable, exposed, and mine. I felt a cold wave of betrayal crash over me. I trusted her. I thought she cared. But this was manipulation. Tears welled in my eyes as rage, fear, and arousal mixed into a confusing storm. I wanted to shout, to run, to reclaim Ethan. But deep down, I knew part of me, Elle, thrived in this twisted control. You used me, I whispered, voice trembling. All this, it wasn't for me? Veronica's smile softened, almost affectionate. It was for both of us. You became beautiful. You became noticed. You became powerful in a way you never were before. And I wanted to see it happen. You can resent me or accept it.
As if on cue, the doorbell rang.
Veronica's smile widened. Ah, perfect timing. A young man entered, tall, kind-eyed, with a gentle smile. Elle, he asked hesitantly. My heart skipped. Recognition flickered. Who is he? This is Daniel, Veronica said smoothly. He'll be spending time with you, learning about Elle, admiring her, perhaps more. My stomach nodded. A strange heat pulsed through me. Fear, curiosity, and something dangerous. Attraction. Veronica leaned close, whispering in my ear. He will see her. He will want her. And you will learn to love being seen, desired, admired. Or you'll break trying. As Daniel approached, I felt a tidal wave of emotions. Ethan screamed in protest, desperately trying to cling to identity. Elle, however, thrived in the attention, the soft gaze, the possibility of admiration. I can't. I shouldn't. But as Daniel smiled warmly, complimenting my posture, my hair, my makeup, I felt a dangerous, thrilling shiver. Shame and desire tangled in my chest. Veronica's eyes gleamed, triumphant and knowing. This is the final test, Elle. Accept her fully, or lose yourself completely. That evening, alone with Daniel and Veronica observing, I felt the world shift. Ethan was fading. Elle was rising. Desire, fear, admiration, and shame all collided in a storm. I realized with a jolt, this was not just about transformation or control or humiliation. It was about identity. And the final decision loomed. Will I accept Elle fully, or fight desperately to reclaim Ethan? The room was silent, tension thick, and Veronica's smile promised that whatever choice I made, nothing would ever be the same again. The room was quiet except for the soft ticking of a clock on the wall. I sat on the edge of the bed, heels off, clutching my knees to my chest. Daniel's warm eyes followed me, full of curiosity and something unspoken, admiration, perhaps even desire. Veronica leaned against the doorframe, her gaze sharp, triumphant, almost predatory. My reflection in the mirror stared back at me. Elle. Perfect, poised, radiant. Every inch of her feminine self crafted, shaped, and perfected. But Ethan still lingered in the shadows of my mind, desperate, screaming, terrified. I closed my eyes, feeling the tug-of-war inside me.
Shame, desire, fear, pride,
Humiliation.
power.
Every emotion clashed in a storm I could barely control. I whispered softly, voice trembling. Who am I really? Am I Ethan, clinging to the past, or Elle, thriving in this new life? Daniel's hand brushed mine lightly, warm and grounding. Elle, you're beautiful, confident, amazing. I flinched at his words. Beautiful? Confident? Amazing? That's not Ethan. That's her. Veronica stepped closer, her smile both gentle and commanding. It's simple, Elle. You can run and fight what's left of him, or embrace her fully. You can hide, stay miserable, or live fully, visibly, powerfully. I shook my head. Tears blurred my vision. I don't know if I can. I'm scared. Good, Veronica whispered. Fear is part of it. But look at yourself. Look at her. You're already living the choice. All that's left is to admit it, to accept it fully. I walked to the mirror, trembling. My hands rested on the glass as I studied Elle's face. The mascara-lined eyes, the soft lips, the delicate cheeks. Every curve and contour screamed femininity, power, visibility. And I realized I craved it. Not just the attention, but the identity. Elle wasn't just me dressed up, she was alive, thriving,
Desired.
beautiful. Tears spilled freely. Shame mixed with pride, humiliation mingled with exhilaration. Every part of me wanted to resist, and every part of me wanted to surrender completely. Daniel stepped closer, gentle and reassuring. "Elle, it's okay. You can be her. Fully. Or not at all. But know this, you're stunning. You're real. You're alive." I swallowed, trembling. Every nerve in my body on fire. Veronica's eyes held me in place, sharp, demanding, victorious. And then I made my choice. I lifted my head, voice soft but certain. Accept her. I am Elle. A wave of relief, fear, and exhilaration washed over me. Ethan wasn't gone. He was buried, present only as memory, but Elle had risen fully, powerfully, undeniably. Veronica smiled, victorious.
Good.
That's exactly what I wanted. And she is perfect. Daniel's eyes sparkled with warmth and admiration, and for the first time, I felt fully seen. Not Ethan, not a man hiding beneath skirts and makeup, but Elle. The next days passed in a whirlwind. Every step I took as Elle was confident. Every glance I received, every compliment I heard, every touch from Daniel strengthened her presence. Veronica's control remained, but it became a guiding hand rather than a weapon. I went out into the city, walked into cafes, shopped in crowded malls, and even attended social gatherings. Everywhere I went, Elle was admired, seen, alive. And with each passing day, Ethan's voice faded further, a distant echo of a life I once had. I even began to enjoy the small things, the gentle brushing of my hair, the soft curve of my skirts, the thrill of being called beautiful or pretty. Humiliation transformed into pride, control into empowerment, fear into exhilaration. One night, alone in front of the mirror, I whispered softly, "Elle, you are me now, and I am you." Veronica appeared behind me, smiling gently. "You've done well. You've embraced her fully. There's no turning back. And yet, you've never been stronger." I nodded, heart pounding, body trembling. There was loss, yes. Ethan was gone, but there was also power, beauty, desire, and life. I had transformed completely. And somewhere deep inside, I realized this was not just a punishment or a humiliation or control. This was freedom. Elle was real. Elle was alive.
And
I was hers. Weeks had passed since the pageant, and life had settled into a new, surreal rhythm. I woke each morning in a soft, sunlit room, the delicate rustle of silk sheets under my fingers. Elle's reflection greeted me in the mirror, poised, radiant, and undeniably alive. The first few mornings were strange, almost alien. I would catch a glimpse of my hands, soft and delicate, and feel the curve of my body beneath the nightgown. A twinge of panic would surge. Ethan's ghost, a whisper of the past, but each time, the sensation was quickly replaced by pride, awe, and a subtle thrill. Every day, I practiced her movements, her voice, her mannerisms. But this time, there was no coercion, no manipulation, no Veronica's sharp corrections or teasing authority. I moved naturally, confidently, savoring the new identity I had chosen. The small joys became profound. The sway of my hips, the gentle curve of my smile, the delicate touch of my hands, all were mine to claim. The mirrors no longer reflected fear or shame, but a life fully realized. Daniel became a constant presence in my life, his admiration genuine, his affection warm and grounding. Together, we walked through parks, shopped in crowded streets, and shared quiet evenings filled with laughter and whispered secrets. He never saw me as Ethan. To him, I was Elle, strong, beautiful, radiant, and alive. And with each kind word, each soft touch, each smile, my confidence bloomed further. Veronica remained in my life, though her role had shifted from manipulator to mentor. Her watchful eyes were no longer threatening, but guiding. She reminded me of the strength in visibility, the power in femininity, and the liberation in embracing desire, attention, and beauty. Occasionally, a fleeting memory of Ethan would whisper from the shadows, a reminder of the boy I had been. I allowed it to pass, acknowledging it but no longer fighting against Elle's rising presence. Walking through the city, I could feel eyes on me, not with judgment, but with admiration. Strangers smiled, complimented, and stared. The once terrifying public exposure had become exhilarating, empowering, and intoxicating. Every glance, every word, every moment affirmed that Elle was real, alive, and thriving. I reveled in the beauty of skirts, heels, makeup, and soft femininity. Humiliation transformed into pride, exposure into power. Alone one evening, I stood in front of the full-length mirror, studying my reflection. Elle's eyes met mine, confident, radiant, and commanding. I whispered softly, almost reverently, "Elle, you are me now."
And I?
"I am you." A shiver of understanding ran through me. Ethan's presence had faded, not lost entirely, but integrated into the life I had chosen. She was not a punishment, nor a trap. She was liberation, beauty, and power. Life was no longer about hiding, fearing, or running. It was about being seen, admired, and thriving. Elle was fully realized, loved, and unstoppable. As I stepped into the city streets, Daniel by my side, Veronica watching from afar with a satisfied smile, I felt the full weight and joy of transformation. The past, Ethan, was a memory, a whisper. The present, Elle, was radiant, alive, and hers. And for the first time in my life, I was free.